Benue state government have disagreed on the reasons for the spate of killing in the state in the past few months. The deputy spokesman of the House, Philip Agbese, blamed Governor Hyacinth Alia for what it called his abandonment of the state anti-open grazing law for the increase in the killings of innocent citizens in recent times. The governor, on the other hand, fired back, accusing Agbese of knowing next to nothing about how laws are suspended in state legislatures. Now, basically, the backstory of this is the fact that in the past 3 weeks, there have been attacks in Oduekun-Ayoola local government area of Benue State, and it has left about 56 persons dead. We also had the governor appealing for the federal government's intervention to stem the tide. Now, this is not the first time that herds, they said we shouldn't refer to them as herds, but this is not the first time that anti-state actors are killing in Benue. Benue has been under siege for a long time, if we want to be true to ourselves. Benue is the food basket of the nation. And is this the right, is this even the right thing? Trading blames over who is responsible for what?
You just said something now which I don't agree. You said you should not be calling the herdsmen. What are they? They are herdsmen now. Are they not rearing cattle? Are they not taking animals to people's farm? Are they sheep? Are they? Is it human? Look, we should not be running away from the truth. They are herdsmen. And let me tell you something here. When Samuel Otom was the governor of Benue State, he came up with that anti-grazing law, and we knew what he went through. Some of the people who are, they went after him and criticized him that he should not make that law, he should not implement the law in Benue State. And this man cried, and at a point he was forbidden from visiting Aso Rock. The door was shut against him because he implemented that law. So if those who are against that law, what are they trying to promote? They are trying to promote killings. And you know that it is this open grazing that is making people to die. That is snuffing lives out of people. Now, Samuel Otom is no longer the governor. And this reverend gentleman, Hyacinth Alia, he came on board. And in order to please his masters, he didn't work on that open grazing law because he wanted to be politically correct. And these are the consequences. You understand? So, and these are because I doubt whether, I don't know how reverend he is, because there are certain things he has done in that state that begin to put a question mark on his ability to do things right in that state. Look, many people were displaced in Benue State, and this the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, wanted to go to Benue State to see those in IDP camp. This man stopped him from coming, and he was not going there to campaign. He has been to the north, other far northern states, to provide some things for the people displaced. Now he went to Benue State to do the same. This governor stopped him from coming. Even when he was en route to the place, he got a message that he should not come. His safety was not guaranteed. So what kind of governor is he? This man is not coming to go and check what Vanguard wrote in the editorial about that incident. You will understand that we play politics to people's life. You came in as a governor, you saw a law, anti-open grazing, and because you want to be politically correct, you didn't implement it. That's why Philip Agbese is blaming him for all the carnage going on in Benue State. Why didn't he stand on what Otom did? Because that's the way we roll in this country. There's no continuity. This person will come into power. We will start the program all afresh. Another one will come. We keep on wasting the resources. Now look at the cost in lives. Look at people that are dying in Benue State. When Otom was there, when he implemented that, many people who have cultural, tribal, and the language affinity with these headers came after him, and they prevented him from even having access to Aso Rock. But the man stood his ground. Now you came because you want to be politically correct and please some people at the expense of the lives of your own citizens. Look at the consequences. So if you go and check what Alia is doing, somebody wants to come to the place to give succor to the people that are displaced. You stopped him from coming because he said that people should not politicize. Is that politics? He did it in the north. He went to the north. He went to Benue Mufwang, governor of Plateau State, welcomed him. He gave them a lot of things there. Was he campaigning? He was not campaigning. He came to Benue State to do the same thing. You stopped him on the way. And you say people should not blame you for the carnage in Benue. Who will they blame? You are the responsible.
Now, to our listeners who, are just hearing about this and you're wondering what exactly is happening, in 2017, the Benue State government enacted the Anti-Open Grazing and Ranches Establishment Law. And basically what this law, was seeking to do was to prohibit open rearing
of animals. Yes.
Now, this was a huge success in the fact that, many who fell, many who went against that law were, would I say, arrested, charged to court, and they noticed that most of them were herdsmen of Fulani extraction.
Yes.
Mostly from outside of the country. Now, they say that this helped to reduce the level of violence
in the state.
After that, after it was enacted, reduced the level of killings in Benue State. Now, during the reign or this time now of Reverend Father or Governor Hyacinth Alia, there have been back and forth. He hasn't exactly said, look, we're not going to, go through with this anti-open grazing law. However, he hasn't exactly done anything. Now, there have been rumors by the opposition party saying, oh, this man plans to repeal this law. He has come out and said, oh, no, there are no plans to repeal the law. However, instead of taking steps, all he has been doing has been to appeal to the Ministry of Livestock to come and do something about it. Is this the right way?
Let me tell you something, Bola. Hyacinth, whatever you call him, Alia, is not a man. Is not man enough to defend his people. Autumn put his feet down and came up with that law, and he reduced killings. You came on board under another party, and you want to play Russian roulette with the lives of your citizens, and these are the consequences. These people, you are not dealing with human beings who think well. When you are dealing with savages, people who will enter somebody's farmland and destroy everything, that law, if he had implemented that law, if he had stood on that law, some of these killings in Benue wouldn't have happened. But he kept quiet. So why shouldn't he? That's why I keep saying that leadership in Nigeria does not come with responsibility. You are responsible for the lives of your people, and you met a law in place which actually checkmated the excesses of these headers. Because you wanted to be politically correct, to appease this, I don't believe in appeasement. I believe in standing on what is right, no matter whose ox is God. You didn't do that, and now your people are dying, and people are blaming you, and you say you cannot. Who else would they blame? You understand? So he is highly responsible for whatever carnage that is going on in Benue. Because these people, you don't have to appease them. It's your land. You have to say. Somebody will not come to your house and tell you how to live in your own house. It's your land. They don't have anything to do here, and you must not take your cattle to people's land, to people's farm. There is a law here, which means that you must either you buy land and do ranching, or you take your cattle elsewhere. Simple.
Now, some people have called for. While the governor of Benue State has been asking for the federal government to intervene because he has said that what they need is the full support from the federal government, some others have been calling for a state of emergency.
Let me tell you something. The federal government will not intervene. And
the question is even that, do you feel that state of emergency is the next thing in Benue State?
State of emergency is not the best thing. And let me tell you something, Bola. We live in delusion all the time. We know the answer to this question. And the neo-colonialists in Nigeria will not allow that to happen. We need state police. Imagine if there is a state police in Benue. Will these people wander into Benue anyhow? Before they come in, the state police people in Benue State, we know they are coming because they are fully in the know of their environment. They know their environment. They know how they are coming in. So that's why I say that federal government will not intervene. Nigeria is the only federal structure where there is a centralized policing, which is an abnormality. It's an absurd that a whole country like Nigeria will have one central policing system. People that are calling for state police, they want to safeguard lives. Imagine if your state here has a state police, I'm not from Oyo State, but they will likely employ people in Oyo State. They know in Ibarakpa, they know Itesiwaju, they know Okiogu, they know all the nook and crannies of Oyo State. How will somebody enter here to cause mayhem without them knowing? They will know. But the state knows what is good to do, but they will not do it. And yet, we are going for condolences, platitudes, and we bring them to proof. That's absolute rubbish. We are not yet interested in bringing this carnage to an end. And let me even say it. Those who are in authority, and this bloodshed are happening under their watch, God will hold them accountable. If they think they will hide behind one finger and be blaming people, no. You know what to do. The good book said, he that knows what to do good and does not do it, to him is sin. Simple. You know that people are dying and this is the only solution, and you refuse to do it. God will hold you accountable. No matter which court you go to in Nigeria and they say you are free, you are not free. That is it. You understand? People, they know the truth. Give us state police. Bring state police in all the states. Why are they dildaling in state police? Because some powers that be do not want it to come. Because if it comes, this nonsense will stop. Benue people will be, Benue and Plateau, all these things will stop.
We've heard several times, apologies, we've heard several times that one of the reasons why, state policing is not gaining ground is because if there is state policing, the governors may use it to their own advantage.
It's a fallacy. We enter vehicle every day. Vehicles get accident. Why can't we? The same people that are bringing this primitive, why can't they use camel to be going to Abuja? Why can't they be using donkey? Because motor kill people. You understand? There is no reason. It is a lame excuse. People who don't want to do anything. It's a lame excuse. They don't want to do anything. They know what is good. They don't want to do it because people die in motor accidents. So I will not enter motor. Because why not? Because this is because governors will now, even the one we have, the federal government, are they not using it? Let us do what is needful. That's why I keep saying that. That's why I get angry when we take our social, economic, and political irresponsibilities to God and religion. It will not work. God has given us the brain to think and make use of them to do what is good for ourselves. But we're not doing it. We go into religion. We go to God and bring all our political irresponsibilities to Him. He will be looking at us. Are we the only people He created? Before you know it, people will be saying, let's pray that the carnage in Benue and Plateau will stop. When you know that, you know what to do to stop it. Why can't let state police come first? They won't allow it. Mark my word.
Thank you so much for that. Now let's move to education. But if you're listening to us for the first time, you can join the conversation. The studio lines are now open. You can join the conversation. Let's have your perspectives on the issues we're talking about this morning. The current issue in Benue State. What do you think, is the solution to the matter happening in Benue State? The studio lines are open, 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893. I'll take the numbers again, 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the show. Now, this headline is on the Punch newspaper as well, and it says concerns as over 1.5 million UTME candidates score below 200. Now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board yesterday released the results of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, raising concerns about mass failure as more than 1.5 million out of 1.9 million candidates whose results were released scored below 200. The UTME is graded over 400, with each candidate assessed in 4 subjects scored over 100 marks each. Now, basically a breakdown of the result that was released by JAMB on Monday showed that 983,187 candidates, that's about 50.29%, scored between 160 and 199, while 488,197 candidates, which is about 24.97%, scored between 140 and 159. Additionally, 57,419 candidates, that's 2.94%, scored between 120 and 130. And in contrast, the high performers were significantly fewer. only 4,756 candidates, that's 0.24, scored 320 and above, while 7,658 candidates, 0.39%, scored between 300 and 319. So basically, the number of candidates that scored 300 and above, there are about 12,414 out of a total of about 1.9 million candidates. Before we even talk about this, if you're a parent this morning and you're listening to this, your child wrote JAMB and hasn't presented the results to you, maybe saying that they don't know how to check the results, let's make it easy for you.
Okay.
These are the steps to check the UTME results. So the students who wrote it, don't hate me, but this is a must know for your parents. So the first way you can check it is to visit the JAMB e-facility portal. That's go to efacility.jamb.gov.ng/login. Make sure you're using a web browser. Enter the email address and password that was used during the UTME registration. And once you are logged in, click on Check UTME Results tab, and the scores for each subject would be displayed on the dashboard.
Okay.
The second option is to check it via SMS.
Okay.
So just go to your SMS service where you send text messages, and then all you have to do is to type result in capital letters, result, followed by your the JAMB registration number of the child, and send it to 55019 or 66019. These are the designated JAMB results checking numbers, and a reply message containing your subject by subject scores will be sent to your phone. The SMS service costs 15 naira, which will be deducted from your airtime. So yes, that's how to check.
You have really given them
Now, in around 20, I wrote JAMB around 2009, 2010. The cutoff for federal universities then was 200.
200. Okay.
As a matter of fact, if you scored below 200, there was a way people would look at you that, didn't you read? You know, and later on, some state universities would reduce it to 180 and some private universities as well, but it was never below 180.
Okay.
However, in recent times, I know that we talked about this matter last year because it was on this show.
We did it.
And I said that, is JAMB not setting the students up for failure in constantly reducing the pass mark?
Yes. You see, Bola, you are absolutely correct. They've been reducing the marks, bringing it down. And when you lower the standard, what do you expect? Look, apart from that, there is a lot of distractions for the students. A lot. The students are under heavy manners. According to one, this musical group, musical youth, they say they use self today under heavy man. They are distracted. A lot of things happen. All these economic problems the parents are passing through, it's rubbing off on the children. It's rubbing off on them. And they are the constant. Imagine no light, no power. Imagine no money. Imagine no food. Imagine it was not like that. Well, during our time, we had everything. So we concentrated on our studies. But these children are heavily distracted. And the parents, their brains are scrambled. They cannot, even some parents who will even want to come and help their children do some work, they will not even do it. When they go out for the hustle and bustling of the day and come back home, they are fagged out. They buckle under heavy weight of responsibilities. Now, imagine asking students to be at the UTM center by 6:30 in the morning.
So about that,
I'm coming.
About the 6:30, being at the center by 6:30, JAMB, received a lot of backlash on social media. However, this is not new.
No, Bola, I know it's not. But looking at the insecurity situation in our country, how can you allow a child to be at the UTM center by 6:30? Imagine when my daughter wrote JAMB, it was one obscure village in Monia. I had not been there before. But what I did was that I went to locate the village before the exam date. It was far inside. And I live in Oduekun-Ayoola. How do you expect me to be in that village by 6:30? I'm not a witch. I can't fly with my daughter. to be at that place at that 6:30. It's not possible. So we do things that are inconveniencing people all on daily basis. Who have we offended as Nigerians? Is there nothing we can do and make sure that we do it well? How can you ask a child to be at the UTM center by 6:30 in the morning? It's not possible. Parents that are going to work, can they? What happened at 9 o'clock or 10? Can they drop their children there and go to work? Why are they making things difficult for people? These are things that will make these children not to do well in the exam. And look at the problem of impersonation and cheating. Impersonation. A lot of people are okay.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Adenke from Muslim.
Aduekun, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
All right, so let's have your perspective.
On the issue of insecurity in Benue State, their governor said they should not blame him. Who should they blame? So they should stop all this blame game of 18 and how to tackle the insecurity that is ravaging the people of Benue. Just take a look at the loss of lives that have gone due to the insecurity, and it has degenerated to the extent that nothing seems to be working in that state. So, and I also urge the federal government too. They should not prioritize the lives of the citizens in Benue State. So at least if they approve state policing, it will reduce the insecurity they are facing in Benue State, because the state police, they'll be able to know the nooks and crannies of the state and able to fish out the bandits, people that are terrorizing, that are terrorizing the state. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Now, Chukwemeka, you said a whole lot about this JAMB issue. There's a question I want to ask.
Okay.
You've, pointed out the effects of the current economic situation, also the effect of the inconvenience from, the timing of JAMB. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sulaiman Sheriff. How do you do?
Sulaiman Sheriff,
Yeah, how do you do this morning? How are you?
I'm doing fine.
All right.
Regarding the issue of UTME, that is 1.5 million candidates for less than 200 seats is expected. I'm not surprised. Students that fail, most of them, they are ambassadors. They are reading time to go on TikTok live. Instead of them to using the reading hours to face on their oncoming exams, some of them use that period to seek the bubble on TikTok. Lastly, lack of parental control also contribute to this, because nowadays some parents, they don't even have the attempt to monitor their child, even to advise them, because the series of economic actions that we are facing. So even they don't care that you are their child, maybe how do you get money to feed yourself when you go for a tutorial or something like that? But I see some of them, they are using iPhone 15, iPhone 16. A student. So we need to be serious in this country. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff. Let's take this call. Okay, call us back 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893. I was saying, Mr. Sheriff just brought what I wanted to say to the fore.
Okay.
Now we've highlighted the parents part. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, what's friend?
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Okay, my name is Salami. I'm calling from Awotan, Ibadan.
You're welcome.
Hello?
You're welcome, sir. Let's have your perspective.
It's okay, mother. Thank you very much. My greetings to the analysts in the studio there. You see, the current abysmal performance of students in JAMB, honestly speaking, it's a pity really, but at times it's a cycling effect. It's a reflection of the situation in the country. Let me tell you, my sister, most parents have lost grip over their children because of the hardship even the parents are even passing through. Honestly speaking, these children, they need assistance. Even we need to assist them to check how they are doing, how they are performing, how they are preparing for the exam. Because most parents have lost all that. In fact, most parents no longer think straight, and this is affecting the children too. I think you understand. So it's like, honestly speaking, it's a pity really, but I mean, it's a challenge even to the government that they have to assist the country by making things easier for the masses, so that the parents can assume their role on their children. Honestly, it's a cycling effect. Whatever affects the head will eventually affect the bones. That's just it. So I wish the students better performance next time, but honestly speaking, it's not really looking good for this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. I like the fact that Mr. Salami has optimally moved to next level. Yes, if you didn't pass this year, fine. Look at how you can do better next year. Now, the caller who called before Mr. Salami, that's Mr. Suleiman Sharif, brought to the fore what I wanted to ask.
Okay.
We're in a generation of TikTok teenagers, Instagram teenagers, not even just the teenagers, even the adults. You find out that most of these social media sites are so addictive that once you open it, it's so difficult to, put it down. We're in the telephone generation. Don't you think that some of these distractions are also, part of some of the things that, have caused what we have here?
Okay, that is where parental guidance comes in. But nowadays, we have a lot of permissive parents. Permissive parents. There are a lot. They allow their children to do whatever they like. You don't do that in my house. They buy these toys and give their children, and they don't monitor what the children do with those toys. And they don't even care whether this toy is taking a huge toll on these children's concentration. And remember that these things are very addictive. If you're addictive to this, technology is good. Technology is equally bad. It's a double-edged sword. You can cut you can use it for good, you can use it for bad. And some of these parents allow their children to allow these things to enslave their children. Some of our children are enslaved by technology, and they will not read. And that toy they are carrying, that I call them toys, they can equally use it to even read very well if they know how to use it.
I was going to say that because, on TikTok, I've found that there are even some people that teach English,
a lot of subjects, many
subjects.
But these children will not go there, and that's where parental guidance comes in. You understand? So if you allow a child, you buy a iPhone or whatever phone they call it and give a child, and you don't really explain to that child what he should do with that thing you have given to him or her, he will use it in a negative way. And mind you, they can equally do well if they use those toys. But many parents, because I say they are permissive, do not care. And because of the economic challenges, a lot of them are always in a daily combat for survival. And when they come back home, they don't care to check what these children are doing with their time. So everything is rubbing off on the kind of results we are seeing right now. It all boils down on bad economy.
Now, is this results we are seeing now, what are the indications that they give us about our future professionals? Seeing that these young children are the doctors, the lawyers, the nurses of tomorrow.
Let me even shock you, Bola. I keep advocating for complete overhaul of this country. This is not how we started. If I didn't witness when Nigeria was working, I may assume that, it has been like this. It has not been like this. There was a time in this country where children will study their books, where parents will go all out to make sure that their children read. But nowadays, parents will go and even to this their so-called Arts Miracle Center.
Now that you've even said this, there was a video that went viral on the day of JAMB. Now, let me know your take on this. So it was a JAMB center, and there were many parents. I think they provided a canopy for the parents to sit under. And then we saw many parents conducting like a prayer crusade under that canopy.
That is rubbish. I'm a Christian, but that is absolute hogwash. That's rubbish. You look, prayer cannot make, if your child did not read the book, whatever brings a question to him in a dream is devil. It can't be God. God is a God of purpose. You understand? That's the problem we have. I said it initially. We take our social, economic, domestic irresponsibilities to God in prayer and religion. The child that didn't study his book, we are praying. What will he write? That is the question. You understand? So the question is this. we must do the needful. Make your child. Some of these parents will even go to so-called miracle centers or special centers. What during my time there was nothing like that. Even your parents, even though they were not educated, encouraged us to study our books. But nowadays, parents don't care. All you after is that let the child be in school, as if being in school is, and that's why you go to universities. You see some of them that are there, they don't even know where they're in school. That's why they join cult. That's why every small thing I went to a particular school, a child, every small thing will start crying. And you're in university. What are you here to do? You understand? Because they have been pampered. Look, Bolanle, let me, before I stop here, parents should prepare their children for the road. They should not prepare the road for their children. Permissive parents prepare the road for their children. And they left their children unprepared when they go to the road and meet hassles of life, because they will meet it. They can't cope. Sound parents, parents that know what their children will be in future, will prepare their children for the road. I'm not saying that some people say because Chukwuemeka is not a millionaire, that's why he's saying what he's saying. Even if you're a billionaire, that's why. Have you ever found out that some successful men and women in Naira and Kobo, their children don't make it in life? Why? Because their children are not prepared for the road. They only raise them up to eat money. Let me use that word. They only raise them up to spend money, not to make money. Go and check. All the men and women that have names in this country, go and check their children. They are nowhere to be found. Because they were not raised to make money, to make impact. They were raised to spend money. Parents must take care of their children. I keep saying, no matter how harassed you are, spend the time, because you will give account of these children. God gave them to you as a loan. You must remit them to God. You must give account.
Now, my final question on this issue, where does this tie in with the age limit that JAMB has proposed? Because does maturity on the side of the students also have anything to do with this result?
I'm coming. It has. Look, let me tell you something, Bola. When I hear people saying, listen to the elders and they take their advice, I tell them, look, even elders, foolish people grow old. Yes, foolish people grow old. And when you go and take advice because you see they are old, you didn't know that they have been foolish all their life, you go and take advice because it's an elder, you are making a mistake. Look, it's not about age, it's about maturity. A child of 16, I have seen a child of 16 years, when you hear him reason, you begin to wonder, this one, how far? It is exposure. You understand? I have seen a boy, a young man of 40 years. He takes counsel, he takes advice from his mother. He will meet somebody on the road and come and tell the mother, I met this person, this is a business. And till today, the mother is controlling him. 40 years. He's not even married. Because all the girls he dated, when they discover that, this one will go to the mother, they will all go away. 40 years old. And yet you see a boy of 16 years controlling things that a 40-year-old man cannot even control. It's not about age. It's about maturity. That's what we are saying here. If you go to university, you can even see a child of 15 years and yet he is sound in everything. It's not you can see somebody 25, he doesn't know anything. That's why parents must be intentional in raising their children. It's not everything that the child desires that you give him. No. Let them know that, look, you have to work for what you get. But nowadays, we have a lot of permissive parents. Go to churches. You see a child that will come to church with a phone. Go and collect that phone. The mother will be angry. The father will be angry. What kind of children are we raising? They will come to church with what do they call it? A tab.
The tab.
Tab. They will not concentrate on what the pastor is. Tomorrow, that child will sit for jump. The mother will go and be praying for the child to pass the jump. God is not a magician.
All right, thank you so much, Chukwuemeka. Which is very true. We have permissive parents who hide under the umbrella of gentle parenting. Please note that there is a difference between gentle parenting and permissive parenting. All right, let's move on to more stories this morning. Now, this headline on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper says FEC approves Nigeria first economy policy to prioritize local industry. Let's take that call quickly. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Miriam, how are you doing this morning?
I'm very well.
All right, you're welcome. Let's have your perspective.
The reason JAMB results, to me, I like the share of responsibility among the parents, who JAMB itself, and the government And rather than assigning blame, I think it's essential that we all look at where we are at fault and bring out the best in all of us.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you.
Because if you continue to blame the government, you should remember that we also share from it, especially parents. How are you all treating your words? So I think we should share the blame and do the needful so that the recurrence of this would not happen. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Mary. All right. And now, there's this story on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. You can contribute to the show by calling us 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-2000, and 0915-333-4893. Don't forget to leave your messages on our live chat on our YouTube channel, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We'll definitely read it out. Also on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM. We'll definitely read it. I can see some comments and we'll definitely take those comments. Also, send us messages on WhatsApp to 0915 4999 893. Now, this story says that the FEC, which was presided over by President Bola Tinubu yesterday, approved a sweeping new policy framework tagged the Renewed Hope Nigeria First policy. Now, this policy, according to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said it's a bold shift in the country's economic approach and it mirrors the U.S. President Donald Trump's America First doctrine, which is, I think, one of the things that led to the deportations and the tariffs. Now, in Nigeria, he says that this policy has a strong emphasis on empowering local industries and reducing dependency on foreign imports. They say that it will be enforced immediately. Some decisions that were approved by the FEC will be enforced immediately. Number one, the Bureau of Public Procurement, that's the BPP, will revise and enforce procurement rules that prioritize Nigerian-made goods and homegrown solutions across all ministries, departments, and agencies. The BPP will create a comprehensive compliance mechanism to ensure all government procurements adhere to local content requirement. Also, they say that a regularly updated database of the high-quality Nigerian suppliers will be maintained by the BPP and it will be used as a reference for all procurement decisions. And a whole lot of it. Basically, no MDA, that's no ministry, department, or agency, will be allowed to procure foreign goods or services that are already available locally without a written waiver from the BPP. And yes, this sounds very good.
Yeah, Bola, and it sounds very good. We always sound very good. You understand? Our problem has not been policy. We have a lot of policies. We have a lot of plans. We have a lot of things we want to do, but we don't have the will to carry them through. Look.
Let's take this call quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, this is Miriam calling back.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you. As regards insecurity, I think putting blames on the government as regards the Western security, mistakes like Benny and places is totally irrelevant for this. Because these people are only called chief security officers on pages of newspaper. And it even takes the one governing with secret state to put all steps in place to promote security in their respective states. So I want the federal government to rise up to the occasion on time and try the lasting measure to this problem before things get worse total.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Bola, we are not short of sound policy. It's implementation. And I want to tell you something. There is need for our dear country, Nigeria, to have leadership grounded in accountability, integrity, and vision. And let me, dependency on foreign import. We know how to make the right noise. If the government is sincere about stopping foreign dependence on foreign things, let us start from medical tourism. Let them come up with a law that no Nigerian minister or politically exposed person will seek for medical attention outside the shores of Nigeria. Let the president drop his Cadillac and go for innocent. Let the food they eat all our elected officials, let them eat Nigerian grown foods. Let them wear Nigerian made shoes. Go to Aba. You go to Aba and see the miracle they are doing in Aba. Go to other parts of this country. Let us see them wear what is made in Nigeria. Because you cannot be telling people to patronize what is made in Nigeria and you are not patronizing it. Bola, you are a woman. If your husband gives you money to prepare soup and he doesn't come home to eat that soup, how will you see that man? You will not be happy. You will not, because you feel that, so what I'm cooking is not good enough for you, and you go outside to eat. That woman will not be happy. What our leaders will, all these things they are preaching, Nigerians will not even listen to them until we see them do the thing. Let them patronize Nigerian-made goods. Let them eat Nigerian-grown foods. Let them drive Nigerian-made cars like they do in India, like they do in other parts of the world, whereby, because charity begins at home. You don't patronize other countries because you make the economy to grow.
Now,
meanwhile, I'm coming. Some people are coming up to say that they mention some names. They are demarketing Nigeria. Look, the people that demarket Nigeria mostly are our leaders. By what they do, and by what they say, and by what they eat, by what they consume, and by what they drive. You are demarketing your country.
Now, Chukwemeka, in 2015,
yes,
the federal government, through the CBN, that was during the Muhammadu Buhari, placed a ban on the importation of about 41 items.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was very popular was rice, in a bid to boost the local production of rice. But we saw how people, came out to complain. A lot of people complained about it. Actually, before then, I don't think I had ever actively even eaten Nigerian rice, because foreign rice was cheap and it was okay, and everyone was eating it. Now, many people came out to complain, to shout, to say, this and that, even the Nigerian rice that they're producing is not good, it has stone in it, it has this. And I remember that we both talked on this show
what did I say?
some years ago.
Can you remember what I said?
That with the stone and the sand or whatever, we should eat our own home
fine
food.
And I still maintain that stand. Look, Bola, let me tell you something. If I'm the president of this country, I will lock up all the borders. We eat what we grow. I will lock up. Look,
some people have said that
Bola,
the level of production is not enough for our needs,
and that is why the government has to sit up, because before you take such action, you make sure that you put things in place. I'm coming. You can pick the call.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Woman.
Good morning to you, Mr. Mario. You're welcome. Yeah. Let's have your contribution.
Yeah, thank you. Now, talking about state security, state police, rather. Reason why some of those, while our, let me say, let the state security, what do they call it now, state police, the light of the day. The reason is that the thing has not gotten to their own doorstep. See, by the time those bandits came up, by the time they gather momentum, and they were able to be the security check or the security apparatus of some of our lawmakers, of some of our governors, and some of the high-ranking politicians in the country. By the time those bandits beat their security escort or whatever, I'm telling you, by then they will be able to know that it's not only state police that we want. They will even be empowering local vigilantes to carry AK-47. It is by then they will be able to wake up and blaze up and know the fact that of a truth really need state police. But with what is happening, they are seeing it as our government, they are seeing it as a tight place. Because it's only Nigeria that are being killed, their families are intact, nobody has been, the security details that is attached to them, those banks have not been able to get access to them. So they think it's a tight place. But we should not let it be until when those people gather momentum. Because each time those bandits strike and they're able to gain more ground, I'm telling you, they will want to forge ahead and move to the next phase. That is what they are doing. So I'm calling on the government to please let state police see the light of the day. Those bandits are more powerful. They are dangerous. They are dreadful. So we should break up. We should not wait until they start coming to high-ranking politicians before they start doing the needful. And lastly, on the jam issue,
see, some of those children as well, they needed to be blamed for their failure in jam. Where I went to fix my car during the week, I saw some of those.
All right, to Apollo Squawk, you were saying.
Bola, Nigeria needs benevolent dictator. There are certain things you should, but before you do it, you must make sure that you are doing exactly what you want people to do. The problem we have is that our leaders tell us to do something and they are not doing it. Tighten your belt and their stomachs are bulging. It can't work that way. If you want to grow a country, you as a leader must tighten your belt. People see the belt, they look at your waist. This belt is about to go around your waist. Then people will go all out to tighten their own belt. But what we have here is that you tell people not to eat this and you are eating it. That's hypocrisy. You understand? So if Nigerians are very good, this country can be managed. But the question is, even if people are complaining, the rice has to, let them eat it. Then because necessity is the mother of invention. In eating it, we find out how do we separate this sand from the rice. Some of these people are abroad. They developed their country because they had problems and they confronted them. We run away from our own problem and take it to God.
All right. We apologize. We won't be able to take calls anymore. Time is very short. However, yesterday, the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, carried out a cabinet reshuffle in a letter signed by his chief of staff, Otunba Segun Ogunwuyi. According to that letter, the reshuffle will see the Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Barrister Seun Ashamu, moved to the Ministry of Environmental and Natural Resources, while the current Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Honorable Abdulmojid Mugbojubola, will move to the Ministry of Public Works, Infrastructure and Transport. Now, the Commissioner for Public Works, Professor Daud Shongudoyin, has been moved to the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. We also have the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Soliu Adelabu, moved to the Ministry of Establishment and Training, while the current Commissioner for Establishment, Honorable Segun Olaiwola, will now man the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. This is not the first time the governor is reshuffling the cabinet. No new person, but just reshuffling the commissioners across the different ministries.
Well, he knows why he's doing it. If it is for a better output, for better service delivery, good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Bola. God save Nigeria.
And thank you to everyone who has joined us. Don't go away. The sports crew is on hand to bring you the latest, freshest, and the best stories in the world of sports. Dear parents, if your children have not checked their JAMB results, make sure they do so. There's two ways to do that. Go to the JAMB portal. Go to the efacility.jamb.gov.ng/login and check their results by inputting the email address and password, or send a text message with results in capital letters to 55019 or 66019. All the best. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Good morning to you and God bless you. Address and password, or send a text message.
Hello, everybody. My name is Akin Lewis, and you know me. You're listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and it is called your preferred wholesome radio. So keep it locked. Stay tuned. This is the radio you've been waiting for.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
كان ساعد الكثير لإسبانيول. ضاعت الكرة من جانب إسبانيول، تمريرة خاطئة صدمت في الدفاع. رونالدو، كريستيانو على اليمين، رونالدو مر، رونالدو عدى بمهارة. يا عيني يا كريستيانو، روعة روعة يبدو هذا كله والكل يقول أن ليس في مستواه. هذا الهدف عدى من الأول. رونالدو مر، جميلة من رونالدو، جميلة من كريستيانو.
Ja cap a la dreta per Xavi, assistència de Xavi més cap a la dreta per Messi, Messi, immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 increïble, no m'ho puc...
For Selko, here's Mbappe! Oh my word! Teenage kicks! The ultimate teenage kick!
Nani. Rooney! Oh, wonderful! What a goal! And what a time! In what a place! What a player! Wayne Rooney out of this world! 2-1 United! One of the great goals in the history of the Manchester Derby.
It was Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred some radio. Let's talk sports this beautiful morning. How are you doing and how are you feeling? My name is Sam Adeliri, but remember you can simply and always call me Sadeliri. Yes, the UEFA Champions League is back. But before then, let's take one or two stories flying around on the local ground. And it's a big one coming from the camp of Kano Pillars this wonderful morning. Starting up from Kano Pillars have officially confirmed that their captain, speaking about Ahmed Musa, the governor, has been called up to the Super Eagles squad for the upcoming Unity Cup tournament in London. The Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL Giants made the announcement via their official X account yesterday.